We're proud of what we've achieved in Stronghold over the last 6 years. We've built a quality portfolio of assets under management of circa $200 million. We're also particularly pleased that we continue to perform for our investors. We've been paying monthly distributions to investors over the past 6 years since we closed our first fund.
Over the past 6 years, Stronghold has grown from a single unit trust to now a team of 6 and over $200 million of quality assets under management.
We're not a huge corporate entity, but what we do have is longevity and consistency across our team. So we have the same personnel in compliance, finance and property that delivered the very first Stronghold Trust back in 2013.
Stronghold's commercial division is a specialist in business parks with over 160 million of funds under management or co-management via trusts that are located in Brisbane, Sydney or Melbourne.
Following the successful launch of 10 closed-end property trusts, 8 of which acquired assets in suburban office parks, we saw an open-ended property fund the next logical step in Stronghold's progression.
So business precincts have evolved quite significantly in the suburban environment over the last 20 years. There's a broad understanding now that only 15% of office workers actually work in the CBDs in our eastern seaboard cities. That implies that 85% of them work somewhere else, and a good percentage of them are now working in the sort of suburban business precincts that we've been involved with.
We think being in an office park is fantastic for our people and their work-life balance. They can drop their children at school and pick them up afterwards as well, and the access they have with the roads, etc., just makes it quite easy.
You know, being able to have everything on, into one building is good for us. So, we have the gym downstairs, we have parking on site for all our people.
The key considerations we consider when we're looking for an office are location, accessibility to transport and roads, and the great relationship we can have with our landlord and collaborate with them.
Knowledge is absolutely everything, and it's that knowledge of the precincts that Stronghold has as its underlying just understanding of the market.
We are experts in what we do, so anyone who's interested in allocating some of their funds towards commercial property are encouraged to look at our successful track record.
Our new investment offering, the Stronghold Precincts Property Fund, combines those past 6 years of knowledge and learnings with our team's skill set and expertise to deliver a more flexible, but more importantly, more sustainable investment offering. The objectives of this fund will be generated primarily from a portfolio of diversified blue chip commercial property situated within non-CBD business precincts across metropolitan Australia.
There's institutional interest now in our suburban office precincts, and with the support of capital markets and the successful launch of all our Stronghold funds to date, there's evidence there that there is demand for this type of product.
Already a number of institutional investors have set up metro funds, differentiated from CBD and from, for example, industrial funds. That, just by sheer scale and the quality of the amenity that's being provided, is demanding attention.
We've chosen an open-ended vehicle because it's an opportunity to consolidate ownership. We would see that all new acquisitions beyond launch date, provided they meet the acquisition criteria, would be acquired by this vehicle. At the end of the day, the real assets underlying the value of our trusts is not the physical built form, it is the tenants. As fund managers, we understand that. That's why we build long-term relationships with those businesses that have chosen our precincts as their home.
We recognise that the needs of businesses change over time, and we work with them to offer that flexibility to them. So over extended periods of time, this results in higher occupancy rates and tenant retention.
Owning a portfolio gives you greater flexibility and opportunity to accommodate their changing requirements. This opportunity cements relationships with tenants, and it gives you an advantage over those landlords that take a different approach or those that do not have as many options.
The advantages of the Stronghold Precincts Property Fund, when combined with our investment strategy, is twofold. Firstly, we have the ability to hold multiple assets within a single area, increasing our ability to influence and improve the surrounding amenity of the assets. Secondly, as a common landlord across multiple buildings within a precinct, we can be flexible when meeting the needs of the tenant within that location as they grow and contract through their life cycle.
Whilst we see numerous advantages in an open-ended style vehicle, there are some fundamentals that are not going to change. For For instance, our approach to fees, the largest component of our fee regime is aligned to investor returns. So that focuses a manager on keeping costs down and income high, and our investors love that absolute alignment. There is a seed asset component to this trust, but any new acquisitions are subject to an independent investment committee approval process.
Stronghold invests a great deal of research to identify commercial precincts that meet its stringent location, planning and financial performance criteria.
The investment committee will have a carefully designed set of principles to select buildings for the fund, and it's also got the backing of a very experienced and competent property management team, and that asset management and property management is essential to. You've got the right buildings with the right management. It's a winning formula to achieve higher occupancy and investment outperformance.
Our team has a long history of working in the office environment. We stick with what we know, and I think that this fund is a great opportunity to invest with people that are doing what they know.
We're going to use our internal expertise in selecting quality assets that are adaptable and flexible and attractive to tenants to generate long-term sustainable income and capital growth for our investors.